How's it going, YWC? Guy on the internet who doesn't like reviews. Doing something new. I don't think I've ever done this on any channel I've ever had. A retro review. Now, if you know me, if you know me through the YWC or IWC, however you want to say it, you know, I don't really live in the past. I don't, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't go back and watch old wrestling. It's like Jay-Z, you want my old shit, blah, 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 blah. I forgot the rap lyric. But I just don't find old matches entertaining. Like, the lightest I would give matches or like events maybe 1 to 2 years. And then I'm ready to move on to the new stuff. Like, I don't like to live in the past. I don't understand how people like do old reviews. I guess you can do sometimes parodies or whatever. But anyway, let's get to the main topic at hand. This retro review. And it is perhaps one of the most infamous pay-per-views in TNA's history. Victory Road 2011. Now, the reason I picked this video or this pay-per-view is mainly because at the time I had taken a break from wrestling. Not Immortal, but TNA, okay. And then WWE was kind of trash, and I was doing other things, working, blah, blah, blah. I really didn't have time for wrestling. And to tell you the truth, I never really sat down and watched the pay-per-view in full. And I thought to myself, well, a couple of weeks ago, all this hate on the internet for TNA's Victory Road 2011, is it really as bad as they say? Or is it just more blind hate against TNA? I know I throw that word out a lot, but let's be honest, against TNA, there is a lot of blind hate. And giving my fair and balanced opinion, oh yeah, you defend TNA, it's not a fair and balanced opinion. Yeah, it's not a fair and balanced opinion because I say sometimes TNA has good matches and good shows, but the asshole who trashes TNA constantly without giving any kind of reason and just says they're trash, yeah, that guy, he gives a fair and balanced opinion. Fuck out of here, guys. Anyway, let's start off with the show. It begins with a pretty good opening. It explains why the main event is happening. Apparently, Immortal has taken control of the company from Dixie Carter, the World Heavyweight title, and Sting, in a surprise appearance, comes back to Impact and wins the TNA Heavyweight title. Hence, the main event at Victory Road 2011. So, the first match is Bully Ray versus Tommy Dreamer. And Bully Ray, man, was this guy such a great heel. He yelling at Christy Hemme, telling him to give him the microphone, and tells her to get out of the ring, and then says that him and Bischoff and Hogan are like this, and that they're going to be running TNA, and that they believe in him. Out comes Tommy Dreamer. He tells Tommy Dreamer that because him, Hogan, and Bischoff are like this, that they've changed the match for him. Granted, now this is a very important thing you have to listen to. Like, this is storyline. This is a storyline that goes on during the pay-per-view. Well, I would say probably one match. This match and another match I'm talking about. But he said that Bischoff has changed the rules for him to thrive. So he changed Hogan changed it to a no disqualification, falls count anywhere match. And let me say this. This was classic hardcore wrestling. You get stiff chair shots, stiff wrestling. And then the ending, let me try some of the stuff in the match. Bully Ray, gotta love this man as a heel. Like, he comes around the corner towards, I think, SoCal Val, and he's like, bitch, get up! And like, he runs and almost hits her with the kendo stick just to get her chair. Tommy Dreamer put us a couple of good moves or whatever, but the ending comes with, I guess Bully Ray about to hit his finisher, but he gets distracted by Devon's music. Devon's sons come out, and Devon comes from the crowd, sets the table up, and hits I forgot what his name, the Deadly Death Drop with Tommy Dreamer, and gets the pinfall victory on Bully Ray. And it was a pretty good match. Oh, but it's an ECW match. These guys are ECW originals. Blah 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 blah. I didn't like it because it was a hardcore match. We saw a hardcore match. Look, assholes complain about this match. If you complain about this match and you're saying, oh, I can't wait to see Nakamura versus oh my god, they got so boring versus Finn Balor. You're a hypocrite because they wrestle in New Japan. Like, if you see a match in one promotion, what rule? Where is it written in the IWC Bible that you can't see that match anywhere else in another promotion? That is the stupidest shit ever. It was a good match. Then you get the Knockouts tag team titles match. Sarita and Rosita versus Winter and Angelina Love. This was barely passable. Like, the match really didn't last that long. You got some good tag team moves from Winter and Angelina Love. Like, Winter put, I think it was Sarita or whichever one it was, put her up on her shoulders, and then Angelina Love came in with the Botox injection, and then a Samoan drop. So that was pretty cool. Rosita and Sarita, it was kind of horrible. Like, I don't know what it was. I guess it was their first time tag teaming, or I don't know. It just didn't feel like a good tag team. But in the end, Rosita and Sarita end up getting the victory due to what would you call it? Like, so Rosita tried to hit Winter with the title belt, one of the title belts, but then she took the belt away. Winter schoolgirl Rosita, but then let me see, what was it? And then Sarita rolled her back and getting the pinfall victory. So it not one of the best matches on the card, but yeah, whatever. Then you get Hernandez versus Matt Morgan in a first blood match. Hernandez ends up winning this match in a very clever, very heelish way. Really like the ending. So at the end of the match, or close to the end of the match, a guy comes in the ring. We know him as, I can't pronounce his name, Ankia, a part of whatever with LAX or whatever. With Supermax, him and Rosita and Sarita. So he comes to the ring, and the announcer's like, oh, is that a guy from the crowd? Blah blah blah. Security's kicking him out. And Matt Morgan's kicking him out, and Hernandez is in the corner, like reaching underneath his bandana or whatever, and he pulls out like this packet or whatever, while the referee is down on the ground or whatever, and he sprays the red-looking substance on Matt Morgan. And Matt Morgan's like, what the fuck is this? I'm still going to kick your ass. Out comes another referee. And referee looks at Hernandez. He's like, okay. And he looks at Matt Morgan. He's like, oh, no, ring the bell. You lost. And Matt Morgan's like, why? And then he just like, you're bleeding. I'm not bleeding. Excellent heel work from Hernandez. Yes, he's a big guy. He could have probably won this match in another way. But you're a heel. You're supposed to do underhanded, sneaky, dirty shit sometimes. As far as the match, it was a pretty good match. Then you get, I think, the best match on the card. Obviously, like Kazarian versus Roddy E versus the Young Bucks, aka Generation, or FKA, formerly known as FKA Generation Me. Now, let me speak on Kaz. Kaz in this match, by God, this man was so amazing. I don't know if it's the Samson effect. Samson with the hair. With the hair, Kazarian, this guy, I could have seen him as a future TNA heavyweight champion. But when he lost his hair, I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler or a bad talker, but it's not in his glory days. It's like, okay, he's Samson, and Christopher Daniels is reverse Samson, because Christopher Daniels, he lost his hair, he got better. How's that happen? Daniels loses hair, gets better, gets cooler. Kazarian loses an edge of coolness and kind of is the Marty Jannetty of the team. When in this match and during the years when he had his hair, this guy was the man. He was the bar. next to AJ Styles as far as exhibition. What happened? I think it has to be with the hair because this guy was pulling out like who did he have? I think he had Max Buck or whatever on top of the SB. He swung him and hit a diamond cutter or ace crusher or whatever you want to call it. Hit the flux capacitor off the top. Robbie E, not a bad performance. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, even before he turned face and became a good wrestler. And I'm not doing quotation, mock him, but Robbie E, he held his own in this match, which I guess people were lying when Robbie E's playing a character. When he's doing the shitty wrestling, he's playing a fucking character. I don't know if people realize that now or they're still like, oh, he sucks as a wrestler because he sucks as no, he's playing a heel character. He's not supposed to pull out his best moves as a heel. Granted, you can and you should, but I guess that's not the way he wants to play his character. The Young Bucks, look, do I even have to say anything about the Young Bucks? You've seen their moves in Ring of Honor. You've seen them in TNA. Good quality moves. But in the end, Kazarian ends up getting the victory because the whole story of the match was that Max Buck was getting the other brother, the one with the blonde hair. I don't know the Bucks apart. I don't know that name. But he was telling him, look, it's my birthday. I want to win and, whatever. But during the end of the match, the one with the blonde hair said, well, I want to win. Then they got into it, fighting over the belt. Robbie E comes in with a ladder, knocks both of them down, and he tries to grab the title all after climbing the ladder. But Kazarian, he's somehow out of camera view, got on top of the S Division structure and climbed to the very tip top. And he starts making his way over as Robbie E's climbing up. He grabs the belt and then kicks Robbie E down and wins the title. Best match on the Victory Road card. Then you have Beer Money versus Ink Inc. Beer Money ended up winning this match due to Shannon Moore's, I would guess, his rage or his disrespect. They have, I think, Byru down, and I think, who was it? I forgot the other guy's name. Jesse Neal. He's like, oh, man, let's come on with our finisher. But then Shannon Moore grabs the Book of Dilly Gap, and Moore's like, what the hell are you doing, bro? We're trying to win this match. And they start arguing back and forth. James Storm super kicks Jesse Neal out of the ring, and they end up hitting drinking while investing on Shannon Moore and retain their titles. Really good match. And then at the end of the match, there's a respect shown for Jesse Neal, and they try to extend that same respect to Shannon Moore. But Shannon Moore, he grabs Storm's beer and spits it in Storm's face, and Neal's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, it was a good match, bro. And Shannon Moore's like, you need to toughen up. Stop being a bitch, whatever. So that was pretty good. Then you have cold-blooded Matt Hardy versus AJ Styles. Solid match. A lot of interference from Ric Flair, but it's Ric Flair. Sometimes I gotta love Ric Flair. And AJ Styles ends up getting the victory after a lot of punishment from Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy was doing a lot of good in-ring wrestling, and he busts out a new submission. I don't know how new it was at the time, the ice pick submission, but it didn't get the win. AJ Styles, toward the end of the match, he gets his eye poked in by Ric Flair, and he's like, he's like jumbling around. He hits Ric Flair with the Pele kick. They fight for a little bit more. It ends up with Matt Hardy getting on the second rope. But AJ Styles ends up hitting the Pele kick to him while he's on the second rope. He falls down. Styles goes to the top rope and hits the spiral tap for the 1-2-3 victory. Pretty solid match. And then this is where I think this is why the show overall gets a bad rating. This is why people say, oh, one of the worst pay-per-views or whatever, when up until now, it was a pretty solid card. You know, especially the S Division match. The S Division match was a standout. I highly recommend you to go back and watch that. Cass versus Roddy versus the Young Bucks. Very high energy, high impact match, and Cass at his Kazarian at his best. But then the main event. Now, Jeff Hardy comes out and we all know he's intoxicated. Like, he comes out not at his same self, and it's a train wreck. And Bischoff comes out, he tries to save it, going with the storyline. Whereas, if you remember, Bully Ray says that, hey, Bischoff changed and Hogan changed these things for me. So Bischoff comes out and says, well, Sting, since you went on Impact or whatever, and we didn't know, I'm going to change this match to a no disqualification match. He didn't change it because Jeff Hardy was drunk, he wasn't blah, blah, blah. No, he changed it because it was already established that since Jeff Hardy is immortal, he's going to be looking out for him. So that's what was supposed to happen. But due to Jeff Hardy's problems with drugs or alcohol, whatever you want to say, this match ends like so weirdly. And I'm not gonna lie, one of the worst endings in TNA history, especially for a pay-per-view. So Hardy, he's doing kind of a good heel thing. I think it would have worked better if he hadn't been intoxicated at the moment. He's like walking around with the shirt. You know, Jeff Hardy, he's very popular, heel or face. And he's like, I'm gonna throw my shirt here. Nope. I'm gonna throw my shirt here. No. And Sting, he's like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, let's wrestle. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And then he just finally drops the shirt. I'm like, okay, that's cool heel move. But then they finally get into the wrestling, and within 2 minutes, Sting hits the Scorpion Death Drop and wins. And Jeff Hardy just pops up like, what the fuck, bro? I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, and I think that is the reason why this pay-per-view gets such a bad. People, especially in the IWC, and let's face it, a lot of WWE fanboys, they will overlook all the good wrestling on TNA, especially on this card. They will overlook all the wrestling, all the good wrestling, all the good storylines, and just focus in on that one point. Oh, it was a bad pay-per-view because Jeff Hardy came up drunk and they let him out there. Now, granted, TNA, should they have let him out there? I don't know. I mean, if they wouldn't have let him out there, would Jeff Hardy's life be any different? Would he still be a drunk and an alcoholic? And sometimes you have to let people hit rock bottom. But on the other hand, understand, people pay hard-earned money for this pay-per-view. And they want to see Sting versus Jeff Hardy in a good match. So when this ending happened, people were like, I'm pissed off. I hate TNA, blah, 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 blah. But they negated the fact that, oh, yeah, for the past couple hours, the match was pretty good. So they let that hate overwatch so that they can say the pay-per-view was bad. But in reality, one match was bad on the card. And granted, it was a glaring problem that this match was bad because it's infamous with TNA. This is when people say, oh, TNA is bad, this is the thing they come back to. Not the whole entire pay-per-view. They say, oh, Victory Road was bad because Jeff Hardy and Sting. And then they try to overcast that whole one match over the pay-per-view. So, in my opinion, was Victory Road, was it as bad as people say? Fuck no. No. They had one bad main event. Should it have happened? Should it have happened? Or should it not? Who's to say? Things work out funny in life. I don't know. But I understand people's anger toward this. But in my opinion, Victory Road, pretty solid show. Up until the main event. If you take out the main event, or if you have a sober Jeff Hardy, this could have been it was already a solid pay-per-view. Maybe or maybe not, the pay-per-view could have been above average. We will never know. And for anybody to say, oh, it was a bad pay-per-view, you're a fucking liar and a blind TNA hater. That's a simple fact, because there is no way anybody can say that Victory Road 2011 was a bad overall pay-per-view after the matches up until the main event. Now, if you say, oh, Victory Road 2011 main event was horrible and one of the worst things I've ever seen, I will completely agree with you. But if you say, oh, Victory Road 2011, the whole pay-per-view was bad, no, you're lying. Stop fucking spreading lies on the internet. It's horrible and it's sad that wrestling fans do this. But I think you guys probably should give Victory Road another look if you haven't ever, and do it with a fair mind. Do it with a clear mind, not with the hate. Just as a wrestling fan, go back and watch the matches. And, you can probably skip the main event. The main event was trash. Let's be honest. I don't know how many more retro reviews I will do because, like I said, it's not my thing. But if somebody requests me to do a retro review, I won't mind doing it. So I'm gonna get out of here. Tell me what you gotta think. Am I, correct on my assumptions? How do you feel about Victory Road 2011? How did you feel at the moment when you watched it? Because I can understand. If I paid my $40 in 2011 to watch Victory Road Sting versus Jeff Hardy and the match only lasted 2 minutes, I would be fucking pissed. That's true. And I think that, like I said, overwatched all the good wrestling up until then, and people still carry that hate instead of saying, oh, I got the other wrestling, whatever. But, whatever. So hit me up in the comment section. I love hearing from you guys. Peace out.